Mm, 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 mm. I can learn to like this. Mm, 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 mm. Hey, you got to be thankful for the little things, because little things are all you have to get. Hey. Mm, mm. What have you done for me lately? Ooh, yeah. Mm, mm, mm. What have you done for me lately? Okay, Woody Woodpecker. Too loud. Too loud, too loud, too loud. That's because he looking like Fabio. Hey, welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Thanks for joining me. Trying to still multitask. Y'all know how I do. You know how I do. I like to do a lot of different things at one time. So I'm trying to do the live while I am working on some projects, while I am watching Country Wayne, trying to catch up on my little skits, since they be knocking them out left and right, y'all. Man, mm, when I tell you I be having a lot of stuff going on at one time. I be having a lot of stuff going on at one time. Y'all. I really do. So welcome to the live. This is your first time to the live. I like to know who I'm talking to. So if you are a male, one. If you're a female, for the two. Hey, Crossland Hawkins, how you doing? And if you are a viewer, put a V. If you are a content creator, put a C. So I kind of know who's in the live and what they do. Man, I cannot pull this through for some reason. I'm doing good. Rochelle, how you doing? All right, y'all. And if you're coming into the live, go ahead and hit that like button for me. Y'all got some games sometimes we could do on here, but right now I'm having a hard time putting this through my darn Bob. Bobbing, to be honest with you. Uh, oh, put that back. Uh, yeah, this thing had fell off yesterday, and I was chasing it. I was chasing it while I was trying to get it to I was trying to load up my bobbin. I had changed my colors on my sewing machine, and for those that sew, you know what I'm talking about. I had changed the colors on it. uh, and that mug fell on the ground yesterday, and it was just spinning. I was like, Dodo Brain, take your foot off the pedal. I was trying to do too many things at one time. I'm working on my second instrumental music. Okay. You're from Indonesia. I think that's it. Is that my small one? No, that's not my small one. That's my small one. I like to use the small one for this. You don't need to have that big one. I like those big scissors when I'm putting out fabric or something like that. The small one work better when I'm just doing this little minor stuff that I be doing in here. Working on trying to get my inventory stocked up so I can put it back on. Hi, how are you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. No customers, no business. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. I was like, let me get on the live because I haven't really been doing any lives here lately. Uh, I did a couple of them last week, but not like I was doing them because at one point I think I was doing them. Uh, I was doing lives like twice a day at one point. And then I fell off it. doing them as much. And then I spread them out so far that I was, oh my God, I got to get back on. I got to get back on. It's nice without the drama. Right. Man, people, I don't know. Child, one thing I'm noticing about this platform, when you like to be real with people, people say they want real, but when you give them real, they really don't want it. They only want the real that they feel and they want. But like, child, that's one thing they're gonna learn by me. Well, I keep it real all the way around, and I know that don't resonate with a lot of people. I know that I don't. But hey, can't please everybody, and Lord knows I'm not trying to. Um, Hi everyone. Hi to everyone else. I am not trying to please everybody, but I am trying to stick to the truth though. And expose things for what they are. So I be telling y'all, I be trying to throw y'all hints so that y'all don't go off on deep end when I be talking about hurt dogs will holler and will comment on whatever however they're feeling. If they feel it's geared towards them. I give everybody the opportunity to talk to me, explain what meaning before I try to anyway before I go off on the deep end. Because Lord knows I can go off on the deep end. Um Sometimes. You see me, I am the same, right. Girl, people don't, that's what you need to be careful what you ask for, because when you're giving it, do you know how to really handle it once you're giving it? Or do you just want people to take the fun for you? You know? Like, or do you, man, what I'm trying to think of, do I want to use this or don't I? Do you really want that, or is that something that you're saying just to be saying it because that's what it is at the time? 'Cause everybody's saying that's what they want, but is that really what you want? Because when you got it, you don't know how to handle it. Better to real than a con or a lie. Right, right. That's why I've always said that, y'all. One thing about me, I've always been honest about who I am. I told y'all in real life, a lot of people don't really I don't have a big I don't have a lot of people that like in my circle. I don't, because a lot of people can't handle stuff that I be talking about. Some people aren't ready for the conversations that they think they are. And when it happened, you know, they don't know how to react to it. But one thing I do like is I will give anybody the opportunity to kind of talk with me if they haven't, if they feel a certain way. If I can do it without all the foolishness. Like, I don't, man, contrary to what y'all might think, I don't like drama at all. I really don't. And I cut it off real fast. Um, that's what, like, certain stuff I don't really get into. Like, I don't watch um reality TV and all that crap. 'Cause it'd be too much going on in that stuff. And that's why even with my country Wayne shows, I gotta back off of the country Wayne shows sometimes. Cause man, they be off the chain. Like, it be some unrealistic foolishness, right? Um, and a lot of times, because a lot of times what I do is I self-reflect on a lot of stuff. So if I do something, I like to always look at it and then explore it and talk to it about to people. If I notice something somebody might do, I might mention that as well. Or, not necessarily say who it is, because I don't necessarily want it to be addressed to a particular person. I'm just speaking my mind at this point. Because if I did want to address somebody, I just come out and say it. It ain't good. I don't care. That's one thing you're gonna realize about me. The best way to tackle anything on is to just deal with it up front. And if you got an issue, somebody just come out and ask. Just come out and say, just go ahead and talk about what you're gonna talk about. But sometimes when I do be talking about stuff, I talk about stuff that I myself has happened to me, and the reason I can talk about it is because I went through it, and I'm a real enough person to let you know that I went through it where other people won't. Because sometimes when you when you address stuff, if you say it, even if it can be directed at somebody, if you say it about the person, they don't necessarily accept what you're saying because they know who you're talking to, right? Um, and so they're not willing to really listen. But if you put it back on yourself and you can deal with whatever's coming your way, then you can kind of see it a little bit better than if it was somebody else, especially if it's somebody that they care about or they like or something like that. Um, Girl, when I was younger, I did. Nowadays, no drama tolerated. Don't care if you're my sister, son, aunt, etc. I am gone, or just don't be around you. Right. Right. Hey, it is what it is on that note. Um, but especially on this platform right here, one of the things that really got me into to wanting to become a content creator per se was a lot of stuff that I saw on this platform that just wasn't right. So in order for me to address those things, I have to I have to talk about them. I have to talk about the things that most people won't try to brush under the rug or act like it ain't happening. In order to keep it real straight across the board, right? Um, hey, and I always say, hey, if the bullet hit you and it wasn't meant for you, then that means it's something within yourself that you really need to look at and change. Because if it didn't hit you and it didn't affect you, that means I ain't talking to you. Carry on, right? But I know how my work. I know how to work things that can cause curiosity. Yeah, that's all a part of doing this. It's all a part of engaging with folks as well. Sometimes I am talking about a certain thing, but if I don't want to bring attention to that person, whether it be positive or negative, I just refuse to say their name. you know um but hey, there's some smart cookies on here that probably can figure it out or maybe can't figure it out. And they just assume. But I'm gonna tell you this. Assumptions will make an A out of you every time. Okay? This is better to come out and just ask than just to be around here assuming. Right? And then when you ask the question, don't get mad at the answer because it's not what you wanted to hear. Right? If you're gonna put yourself in a position where you ask something, be ready to accept the answer. And that's the problem a lot of people can't deal with. That's why a lot of people rather listen to a lie than listen to the truth. Because really they don't want to know the truth. They just want somebody to sit there and lie to them. You need to say what you want to hear versus what is real, right? Um and then if we can get past that, we can get past it. If we can't, then carry on. I mean, that's just how I see things. I'm sorry. Um, because like I keep saying, everybody, I'm not here. I'm not here to just be pleasing everybody. I'm here to get down to the truth of the matter, even when the truth is directed at, let's say, the platform. It's some things about this platform that happens, and it's because they allow it, right? But a lot of people will not listen to that because they love this platform so much. But sometimes this platform creates stuff unnecessarily. And the reason why it doesn't get resolved is because nobody is willing to look at the root of the problem, right? Me, I'm a different breed. I look at all of it. I'm gonna call out the BS when I see it, right? Um, and I'm gonna address it. But the whole issue of me addressing it is to try to make it better. I ain't trying to hurt nobody. Because if I wanted to hurt people, I can go ahead and say it for what it is. It won't be a lie. It'll be a truth. It'll be the truth. Um, and just put it on out there. But a lot of stuff I do, most of the stuff I do, I mean, I'm either talking about something I experienced or something I observed. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. I totally agree. I know that's right. 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 And that's really who you want to be around. You don't want to have no fake and phony people around you. You don't. Like when I be doing these exposures and stuff, And like, let's say for instance, Didi. We do talk about Didi a lot, right? Um, and I know I can't get the results that I need to get with her because she just gonna block me and don't want to listen to anything I gotta say. Well, guess what? I'm gonna go to your community and talk to them. I'm gonna go on their page and talk to them. And then guess what? The communication is still gonna be had, right? Regardless if you wanna talk to me or if they wanna talk to me. Now, if they say they don't want to talk to me, it's all good. I address that. I'll say, you know what? You don't have to. You can still have your opinion. I just wanted you to know so that way you can make um, a conscious decision on what you want to do. And I leave it at that. If they come back at me and they talk to me and they want to voice their opinion because I came on their page, guess what? If I'm willing to put it on their page, I'm willing to sit there and listen to what they got to say as well. Because just because they saying something different, don't mean that oh, I'm not going to talk to you. Well, I came to them to talk to them, and they're going to tell me their opinion. Guess what? I'm going to listen, right? And then it might just have to be we agree to disagree and move on. And likewise, if I go to even someone page that I I listen to, but I don't agree with what you're saying, I might make a comment and say, hey, what you're saying is not right, and here is why. And whether or not you agree with me, this is your business. You don't have to agree with me or not. But one thing about it, if it's right, you ain't even got to tell me I was right about it. I know I'm right because now you taught it and you're trying to correct your wrongs, right? Or if I'm wrong, I bet. But here's one thing. I bet you one thing. If I told you something and I was wrong, I bet you'll call that out when you. But you won't call out when I'm telling you something right. That'd be the tripping part about this whole thing. Like you can call a person out when they're wrong, but what about calling out when they're right? Right. Hmm. And see, that's what makes me different. That's what makes me different from a lot of people. Hell, I call myself out. Yeah, if I said something wrong, I correct myself, right? Um, and if I think it's my opinion, I'm gonna say it's my opinion. But if it's something that I research and I know for fact that it's fact, then guess what? I'm gonna say that as well, right? Now whether or not that fact is what you want to hear or not, it is what it is, as far as I'm concerned, right? If you don't want to listen to it, you ain't got to listen to it. But one body, if it's a fact and it's the truth, and it comes back at you, and you finally see what I was saying was the truth, you're gonna have to accept it, whether or not you tell me you accept it or not. And that's just that. Because one thing about the truth don't change. The truth remains the same. Like period. You can try to sugarcoat it any way you want. You can try to package it any way you gotta package it because you too ashamed to say, "Oh, I was wrong." This is and I think that's what's hurting of content creators in today's time is because they're so stuck on what the past was that they can't accept where we are right now. And I'm not even the, I mean, I've said that, but I'm not even the one who elaborated on that. Who elaborated on it was YouTube themselves. Now, I was talking about the AI system back last year, and everybody was talking about, I don't know what I'm talking about, and it will never happen on this channel, and all this other stuff. When I was talking about that and saying the stuff about where it was going, because I had went off the platform and started researching it on my own, and I didn't use Google because Google was owned by YouTube. So I used other search engines to find out the information that I wanted once the idea was brought to my light and saw where they were going and brought it back to try to help people. But people tried to tear me down when I tried to tell them, well, that's fine because now everybody's now saying it. Now you see big YouTube platforms talking about the AI system, everything's changing, and how this is going and this is going. And then who comes behind and say that YouTube has changed? And if you are stuck in the old ways, you will not move forward with everybody else. YouTube themselves. But instead of people going, oh yeah, you were correct about what you're saying, they'll try to make it seem like, oh well, YouTube changes, everything changes all the time. They don't never remain the same. Nah, buddy. When I tried to tell you and you wouldn't listen, you thought it was crazy, but now the information is slap dead in your face. And no matter how you try to stay the same, if you do not change, it will not work the way it used to work. Just because you were successful 10 years ago, or just because you were successful 5 years ago, or just it's because you were successful 2 years ago, if you don't change or adapt to whatever is going on right now, you will not continue to be. You will have success, right? But as you get to a certain point, it's going to fade out because what you're doing is no longer working. that's when people start listening to you. And so that's what I mean by a lot of stuff that I be saying and I be bringing people attention. Oh man, hold on. Because there's just so many people out there that just their whole thing is they want to discredit you because you're a smaller content creator. They want to discredit you because they got this to show and they got that to show, right? Well, guess what, yo? I got stuff to show too, but I'm not finna make that a main focus because even what I can show could have changed. You know what I'm saying? I'm just bringing to attention what is happening, and I'm also saying, stuff can happen at a rapid pace. That's why certain things, if you're going to share it to help people, you probably don't want to say it on the platform because the platform in itself is a machine learning platform and it's learning everything that you're saying and everything that you're putting out there. So about as fast as you're putting it out there, it's also changing, right? But people can accept that, and I know the games. I know how this crap works on this platform. They'll come to your stuff. They'll listen to you. They won't acknowledge that they're there, but you know they're there because when you watch their stuff, they're talking about the very thing that you're saying. Will they ever mention that you're the one who brought it to their attention? Heck no, they ain't gonna do that because they want people to think it's them. Um, it's going to be changing consistently, right? That's exactly what it's going to be doing, and people have to accept it and learn from it. Uh, I don't really like the AI thing, but it's interesting at the same time. We don't like to change. This is human nature. Correct. Right. Is exactly right. And people don't like change. And unfortunately, if they don't change, if they don't adapt, then they're not going to be here. So I mean, it is what it is. I don't understand what the changes are. The changes are crazy. The changes is the whole system in itself, Miss Ann. So like back last year when I was talking about a lot of changes that was happening to the system or what was going to happen to the system. The old system back in the way how it was really controlled by the people. It literally was. It was controlled about by um, a group of people. I can understand why some people niche down, right? I can understand why in the old system they told you to niche down because if it was controlled by people, right, then the people really had to control or say on what comes up on the front page, what is recommended to other people. If it was controlled by the people, then it was based off of the SE, which is the search engine optimization. With this new system, it's not controlled by the people. Not all of it. For the most part, it's controlled by AI. It's controlled by the AI system. So, and matter of fact, you can kind of get on some people's stuff when they're talking and they're showing you stuff in the background where they say something and the AI kick in and try to do what they're saying. It's because the system is literally learning from you as you're speaking. So everything that you're dumping into the system is quickly learning, right? So all that other old stuff don't work no more. SEOs don't really work no more. Um, Certain tags and stuff and titles doesn't work no more. Will it appear to work because the system is so new? Absolutely, absolutely correct. Everybody like this video because I would appreciate. Oh, thank you, clones. Thank you, clones. And I'm assuming this right here is straight. Thank you so much. Um, so, will stuff happen in the new system that mimics the old system until the old change take place? Absolutely. Some things will work, but the vast majority of it will not work. It will not work for you. It's only working for those that have massive platforms throughout the system from the old system into the new system. And what's happening is the ones that don't have that, or you can see their effects real quickly, right? But for the ones that, unless it's something that they're triggering in the system to allow it to happen. Other words, I got $25 shout outs if you need. Hey, that's so crazy to me. Yeah, that's just ridiculous to me. Really, a $25 shout out is beyond silly. A $200 review is beyond silly. If it's a shout out, right? If it's a shout out, it's still beyond silly. Um, so you got me laughing with that $25 shout out. But if But far as the new system, why it works so, why it seeming like it's still working, like some of the old stuff is still working, the old system for the people who've been on the platform for a long time, is because you haven't phased through that. Remember when everybody was talking about YouTube was on easy mode and everybody was doing it? That's because at that, okay, computer, that's because at that particular moment in time, YouTube themselves was allowing a lot of small content creators to go on the front. So what they was doing was they was putting a lot of the small content creators on the front pages next to large platforms. So it gave it appearance like any and everybody can do this on easy mode, when in fact, no, it wasn't. All they were doing was they took something from the old, because typically in the old system, if you was a smaller platform, you caught hell trying to make it, right? And they knew that their system was getting ready to change on this AI system. They just tweaked it just a little, just to allow people to hurry up and try to kind of get in the algorithm that was now going to be taken over by an AI algorithm versus a people controlled algorithm. And so it gave the underdog a chance to get in a position where it'd be beneficial to them. So for some, it appeared that YouTube was on easy mode. Why? Because it was just the time frame that they caught it in. But y'all noticed how quickly that ended, right? And all it was I still think it's better to not have your videos all over the place. Imagine a channel that covers medical information and start doing celebrity gossip. That doesn't really make sense to me. Okay, well, on that note, watch this. And what they're calling it now is not really niching down, but they're calling it where you can still talk about various topics and still stay up under what you're doing. For example, when you wrote that message to me on my video, and you would say, well, if I want to do a cat channel and I'm trying to do insurance, I can't really do insurance on a cat channel. Yeah, you can. You just talk about pet insurance. You got to know how. You literally have to know how to make this thing work. You have to learn how to make it work for whatever that you're doing. The thing about niching down in this new system is because it's forever changing, right? Okay, you're not going to be able to attach yourselves because of the way it's set up. We're all in just a box of our own, and whoever comes into that box is now into our own little world, right? That's why YouTube tells you to focus on pleasing your subscribers first. Please your subscribers, because once you get past your and they watch this. I know I'm jumping, but they had to give you that little bit of information, because if you can't please your subscribers, you're never going to attach to the algorithm. But what they did fail to tell you was, if you could find a way to talk to the algorithm while you're pleasing your subscribers, you have a better chance of pushing that stuff out there. Well, whereas you can do what is called, I think some people are calling them like mini niches or whatever. I don't know. I mean, talking about pet insurance, that's one thing. But if in general my content is about my cat, I'm not gonna start talking about car insurance. Well, you're see, and that's where you're being too deep with the niche, because you're too niche down, right? Okay, so if your channel is about cat insurance, I mean cats, right? Then you want to probably relate something about a cat that can be related to something else, such as when I was talking about exposures. And on my video, when I was talking and I had said how you can relate to it, it's like you're relating to a game. We're still talking about exposures, but I got your mind frame in the mind of someone who's playing a game, or someone who's learning from a player in a game. You have to get crafty on how you're figuring this stuff out, but you still have to talk to that system. If you're not really trying to appease everybody anymore, right? You're really not. And if it was still set up that way, then I would say what you're saying is you do it, right? Because and think about this, Miss Ant, on this platform where there is millions of billions of people, right, that you can come in contact with, how come you're not reaching more than the people that you're reaching? Ask yourself that one question. Why isn't your channel reaching as many people? Hey, simply Natural Bell. Right now, what you're saying right there makes sense. But I mean, people who have their channels all over the place. But here's the thing: if they, you get okay, let's take what you're saying. I have it all over the place. Let's look at it a little differently here. If you have a whole bunch of different topics on your channel, but you structure your channel so that no matter who comes on there, they can find what they're looking for, then you are a little bit in a better position than someone who's only talking about one thing, and then their audience get bored about what they're talking about and they don't continue watching because all they're doing is talking about the same thing over and over and over and over. They're just finding new ways to talk about it, right? The best way you could do that is you could put stuff in a playlist. That's why YouTube themselves are kind of pushing people to create playlists, because with a playlist you can do multiple topics and you can categorize them together, and then whoever watches your material can see your playlist and find something that interests them versus you just having videos thrown all over the place. Now, is that niching down? No, that is called what is called mini niches on your platform and directing your audience where to go. On the old system, they said try to pick a niche and talk about that one particular niche. That way a person knew what they're coming there for, right? Because they didn't want to watch an exposure when they're trying to teach you about signing up for education back then, right? The problem with that is as soon as you post something your subscribers don't like and they unsubscribe. But see, that's where a lot of people, Terry, is getting hung up on the subscribers. As long as your subscriber count not dropping below what it is as far as if you're monetized. If you're monetized, right? As long as your subscribers aren't dropping below that monetization number, you're fine. Because the less amount of subscribers you have, really the better position that you are. That's why you see people who don't have a lot of subscribers get a lot of views on their stuff. Why? Because their stuff is actually good and people are watching it. But the reason why it's not working in this system today is because the subscribers really control whether or not it goes out into the core of the algorithm if you're not talking directly to the system, right? So if I have, let's say I'm not monetized. I'm going to do it on both sides. I'm going to do it off of not being a monetized creator. If I wasn't monetized and I had 700 subscribers, right? My goal as a content creator will be try to appease to whoever these 700 subscribers is. And if you were watching your stuff, right? If you were tracking your information instead of just throwing it on the system and forgetting about it, right? You know exactly what your subscribers want. So then you'll just create more of that for that 700 subscribers, right? All right. But if you notice on your on your videos that your subscribers ain't really the people who are watching your videos, then whatever you're doing, your subscribers don't want to see, right? Now you got to try to figure out what is it that the other people like. Well, here's the thing. With the new system, because it's changing based off of what the viewer we're content creators, but once we're not creating content, we're just viewers. So if you're looking at it from the viewer perspective on how this new system works, focus on what you like to do, really. And in this big, massive platform, the whoever wants to find your information, they're gonna find your information on the system, right? If you do certain things, like if you talk to the algorithm, if you're engaging with the people, not just on your platform, you have to step outside of the norm and go engage on somebody else's platform, right? I just got monetized in January 26th. It really only took me about 2 months to monetize. It really did. Okay? Because I recognized what my people was interested in. I did more of that while I continued to do stuff that I wanted to do. I didn't niche down. I gave what my majority of the people wanted, and I did what I wanted to do as well. Okay? But I kept it all categorized so whoever watches can find what they want. Now, because I've done that, I literally see without even looking at my analytics. Of course, I keep my own stuff. But I can look at it to see what it is that my viewers like and what they don't like. I even utilize the community posts. That's another way you can try to figure out who is watching and what they want, not necessarily just your people, but anybody. So if it's something that you want to do, write it in your community post and find out how many people are interested in that. And if the mass majority of the people talking about it, then you know you're good. If they're not, then do less of it. Don't mean that you don't have to do it, right? Okay, so with me, I'm a commentary. I do commentary material. I do skits. I do stuff like that. A lot of people I know for a fact they love my skits. They love skits. They either like the skits that I'm doing, far as when I just started on my own, creating them on my own, or they like the skits that I am doing when it comes down to Country Wayne. Another thing people love me to do, they love me to do exposures. They like to know, be informed of what is happening with some of these crooked people on this platform. Okay, but that don't necessarily mean. I mean, I like doing it to help the people, but it also bothers me sometimes because it kind of it dips into the whole drama out thing. I know what they like, so I do a little bit of that. I do the YouTube thing, but really, what really got me on the YouTube platform was trying to help people maneuver this platform to get whatever it is they wanted. So you'll always notice I'm doing YouTube tips, right? But look at who I am. Look at how I position myself. I'm a commentary. I do reviews on videos. I do exposures on videos. I let you know how YouTube is. I'll let you know about myself. I don't do a whole bunch of everything. I just give you glimpses so the people that will attach to it. I watch how it grows, but I control my channel the way I want to control my channel. And luckily for me, it's a bonus because the way this thing is going, uh, because the way this thing is going, and Pinterest man is like shot to crap, right? And they get bored so easily. Hey, they get bored so easily that because I have set my stuff up that way, it does get me good views. Now, some people will go, "Oh, really get that many views because you ain't got thousands of views on yours. I got thousands of views on mine." Hey, but what you ain't really paying attention to is the amount of videos that I'm putting out there. It's not, and even though I talked about, the pay, not paying you, um, they're paying you for each video that you're making. They are, but when you look at it as a whole, it's an average. So your RPMs are based off of an average of what you're doing, even though you're getting paid per video. So what people don't realize is, although you're seeing 500 on one video, 800 on another video, or whatever, within a 20-day period, I'm still getting collectively a good amount of numbers that will generate me an income. Okay, so that's what you're looking at. What some people do that just stick down to a niche, and if it continues to work for them, all well. But what I'm getting ready to tell y'all here is even people who have larger platforms that have. Well, I mean, we picked joke with DoorDash because of their scams, and then, that's the only reason I'm talking about it with her because she got here scamming people. But the realization of the fact is there are many channels out there that have 80,000, 100,000, a million subscribers, and they ain't even getting 10% of the views on their videos based off of their subscriber base. Hey, Damo, how you doing? They're not even getting a good percentage. Right now, my percentage falls anywhere between 15 to 20% of my subscriber base, which is a pretty decent area, a pretty decent thing. Now, the way I look at mine is because my core people are split. It's because some of them want Country Wayne, some of them want exposure videos, and then somewhere in between there, the whole YouTube thing falls in between. YouTube videos when you're talking about educational stuff, people don't want to know that. I mean, they want to know because that's what's going to help them, but really they ain't paying attention to it because they're more caught up with the hype. They're more caught up with lies. They're more caught up with entertainment. They're more caught up with all this other stuff. And the real stuff that they really need, that they really should be paying attention to, is just going over their head. And then when some mega YouTube person says it, or somebody who points out, oh, I got this amount of channels and that amount of channels, all of a sudden now, oh, you're listening to it. But you didn't listen to it when the smaller content creator was saying it, right? But they were saying the same thing, if not more, or the correct information than the ones that you're sitting here trying to trust, right? Uh, but it's all a mental thing, y'all. It's because right. It's just a mental thing, it really is. And that's because people are so used to looking at vain numbers. They're used to, in the old system, because the way the old system was set up, people were so used to looking at subscriber numbers, viewer count numbers, and all that crap, which really don't really matter in this system. Because what you're going to find out, if you really look at numbers and you really look at percentages, I made a video about percentages, and percentages really does matter. If you really look at the percentage of their views versus their subscribers, they're not getting absolutely nothing. Period. Y'all talk about DoorDash all the time, but it's so many people out here that are not pulling in the percentages for their subscribers. What really shows you that they know that they onto something, look at those small creators, content creators. They got 500 and 600 and 200 or even 34 subscribers, but be getting 1,000 views. They be getting 500 views. Those are the people really that people are really watching, but because they're just not subscribing, because and I really think that's because the bigger platforms have put into these smaller content creators' head not to tell people to subscribe to their channels. Why? Because they know if they subscribe to their channels and they're able to get this amount of people as a small content creator watching them as a small content creator, they're going to blow them out the water because they're trying to program you not to worry about subscribers. Not, but really, you need to at least worry about them until you get at least a little over 1,000 subscribers. I would say anywhere between just to be on the side, anywhere between 1,200 and 1,100 subscribers. Because at any point, if you fall below your 1,000 subscribers, you're no longer monetized. Plain and simple. So, in fact, the most important thing as far as monetization is to get that 1,000 subscribers. Or right, I'm trying right. It's to really get that 1,000 subscribers, and that mess was placed in your head by them bigger platforms that said it didn't matter. It does matter. It matters about them at least. I'm gonna say anywhere from 1,100 to 1,200 just to secure yourself, right? Then there's a lot of other stuff that's happening. People are looking at the count on views. They're looking at how many views a person getting to base it off of whether or not they're doing good or not. Um, yeah, or whether they not necessarily know if they're doing good or not, whether or not they're talking about is what I should have said. Okay, whether or not they're know what they talk about. So quickly, people look at subscriber count and people look at views to say, well, this person don't know what they're doing. This person don't know what they're talking about. And I know that for a fact because I have people still do that to me to this day. And I've even said I know that's one of my biggest hangups, and I'm gonna really have to try to get past, but it just bothers me because they do it so bad, and they're programming it into people's head, and mainly small content creators. Because if them small content creators really knew what was going on, they would really surpass a lot of these people that are on large platforms that has to have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 channels to make the income they're trying to make, especially in this new system, because it's just not happening, y'all. It's not happening. And you're not going to find a lot of people to be honest with you and tell you that. They'll tell you, oh, I got this many channels or whatever, but they're not really showing you how much are you making with all those channels. And think about it, y'all. It's hard to keep up with one channel. This how hard is it going to keep up with 10 and 12, 10 and 12 channels? I've literally seen a short that was talking about these content creators that have all these channels. And literally, I mean, I was cracking up laughing because they had literally all kind of different niche channels and still wasn't going nowhere. Whereas one person who might have had one or maybe even two channels probably were doing way better than they did, but because they had numbers make it look like they was doing something, but they really wasn't doing anything, right? It's all about creating an illusion for your viewers. If you can get your viewers to think one way when really something else is happening, think about this as a business, y'all. You're able to control the masses about the illusion that you're putting before them. No different than DoorDash is doing with her people when she comes to them. She's creating an illusion to make it look like something that it isn't, right? So my thing I want people to start paying attention to is if you're gonna look at numbers, if you're gonna look at subscribers, if you're gonna look at views, then base it off of a percentage and really see. And then when you see that they're only doing 1% of their subscribers and they're only doing 2% of their subscribers, and you are doing anywhere from 30 to 20% or 50% of your subscribers, then who is really doing well here? It's just that people ain't gonna tell the truth. If they can keep up an illusion, they're gonna keep it to keep you where you're at, right? If and I feel like YouTube is allowing this. A part of me feels like YouTube is allowing it because it benefits them. Because the more people who are monetized, the more people who are in a position to make money, the less money YouTube is going to make from them. And that's also why I don't really focus on, even when it comes to these exposures, like some things that they do, I can understand why they're doing it, not meaning I agree with what they're doing, right? But you never know. Like a person that have been on this platform for 10 or 14 years, right? They probably pissed off and tired of people just never getting ahead. You got to really look at the root of why people doing stuff, right? They're probably tired of YouTube getting 70, I'm sorry, YouTube getting 55% of their money versus 30% like they advertising. They're probably tired of this or that. And it's okay to be tired. But the thing is, work with the people that support you and y'all figure out a way to do it together so everybody is beneficial. Like um, even to the sub for sub. YouTube don't care for no freaking sub to sub. Why? Because think about y'all. If everybody around here subbing for sub, right? That means people are getting subscribers, which means they're one step closer to what? Monetization. But so what did YouTube do? YouTube changed their system. So if y'all want to sub for sub or y'all want to do this and get subs, then we'll just make it to where if your subs ain't watching, your channel ain't growing. That's what's happening, y'all. Plain and simple. That's what's happening. So now you got to think outside of what they're telling you. So if I'm getting subscribers and they're not watching, then that means I need to figure out something in order to get views from other people other than my subscribers or spark interest that my subscribers might want to look at. And if you're niching down and you're niching down too far hard, it's not going to happen. It's not. It is not going to happen for you. Okay. So you have to learn what is actually happening in this system. You have to know how to implement it. And like I said a lot on this live because really I said I wasn't going to be talking about the AI because not on the system because I know as soon as you speak it into the system, as soon as you upload a video into the system, it's reading your transcript, it's reading everything you upload into that system, and it's learning. So where people are thinking you got to wait for people to find you or the system got to find what you're doing, that system ain't got to find nothing. That system knows them. You upload your video in that system, what you're talking about, and it's going to get it in front of the people that wants to look at your information. Point blank, period. It ain't no more wait time. I'm gonna go live in the bathroom and not coming out until I have 1,000 subscribers. Hey. Oh, well, depending on what you're showing, brother. Depending on what you're showing, I guess you might get them. I said I was going to do a video about how going viral really can affect you. You know, right? Some man, and I hold true to that. Even in this new system, like you go viral, you probably mess yourself up. And I'm being real with you because especially in this new system, if you go viral for something and them people ain't gonna constantly come back and watch your stuff, you're gonna have a whole bunch of subscribers and you ain't gonna get absolutely no views. That's why people around here paying DoorDash 25. So they're trying to figure out what the heck is going on instead of just studying it for themselves and watching it. It's not just happening to you and me as small content creators, it's happening to the bigger platforms as well. And as they're learning this stuff, they're telling y'all all that's going on. Why? Because information and knowledge is key. And if I got this information and you need the information and I know you're going to need it, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to develop a course. I'm going to charge you and you're going to pay me for the information that I know while I'm still learning information to keep you further behind me while I continue to grow. And that's just what it is. Right? And for all that want to act like it ain't, then you fooling yourself. You are absolutely fooling yourself. If you're thinking that everybody is giving you all the information that you need in order to be successful on this platform, there are a few people that are doing it, but it's very limited. And those are truly the people that really ain't looking for a freaking check. That's who it is. And that's why I said, people, if you really, it's hard to, once you see what people are doing, it's hard to unsee it, even if you don't want to see it. Because there's some stuff on this platform that I see that I try to turn a blind eye to, but I just can't because I know what's going on. I see what you're doing. So, I can do the exposure one or two ways. I can either do the exposure by calling you out and putting you all out there, or I could talk about what's actually happening and then hope that people kind of, learn from it. I could use DoorDash as an example as to not what to do and then present it to you. You'll know what to do in place of that versus just throwing people out there because I know what they're doing or how they're doing certain tactics to try to bring people in. Now, please don't talk about me. No, it's not that. Okay, hold on. Okay, so here's the thing. This platform is set up for marketing and sales. So if you are a business person and you're on this platform, you're not trying to sell something, you're crazy. Okay, because this whole platform is designed. Look at me. Okay, I have my transportation business and I have my side business where I make stuff. And best to believe figuring out a way to work my material into my platform, okay? Because that's the whole reason of doing this. If you're unless you just like the attention, I mean unless you just like talking to people and videos and relying on AdSense, which AdSense is one of the craziest. It's good, but it's one of the most unreliable sources on YouTube. You have a better chance, and for people to tell you, don't like telling people to sell stuff before they're monetized or before they have a large following. That's a bunch of crap. Anybody with any kind of businesses know that you try to add any kind of income to your business as possible if you're looking for growth. You don't wait because the longer you wait, the more people are coming in where you're not, and they're doing something that you could have been doing also. So when Terry, far as you, I would never say, well, oh, Terry's trying to sell this, he's a fraud. No, I would say Terry got some goddamn common sense. He out here trying to see how he can profit off this platform. That is set up for marketing and sales. Even with DoorDash, if when she making her courses, before I realized they were fake, and there was nothing in there, I was saying to everybody, even though I don't agree with some of her tactics, that's just a business thing. That's just business. If you said something about you wasn't gonna sell something, and then you realize that this platform is all about marketing and sales, well, you'll be a dumb behind if you didn't try to sell anything, right? So she's just making a business move about saying that she's gonna sell something. Just because she said at one point before she realized what was actually going on, she would never sell anything. Okay, well, guess what, y'all? I made a mistake. I didn't really understand how this platform was working. And yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to make some sales, either from some digital products or something that I make on my own. Where I thought DoorDash is, she's scamming people with the material that she's putting out there. Just be honest, girl. Okay, for DoorDash, I would tell her do motivation. And really, to be honest with y'all, and I'm being straight up honest, that's why you didn't really see me focusing on the weight loss stuff. But the girl lost weight, right? So she could talk about weight loss. She said brand deals are basically stupid, and she's dumb. Okay, on that note, because brand deals are not stupid. Brand deals are another source of making income. Now, what I will say about brand deals, and I just found this out recently myself, the reason why you don't hear a lot of people talking about brand deals is because once they accept a brand deal, they're on an arbitrary agreement that they can't talk about it. And if they do talk about the rules of it, then they're not going to be able to make money from it, right? Right. So, right. DoorDash whole thing is she wants money now. She don't care how she got to get the money. She's gonna hurt people in order to get the money, and that's where she's wrong because she has gotten so used to this quick, fast money, and manipulating people to get it. That's where I fault her at. Even with whatever she did in her past, right? With the curl smiler. If she would have came on the platform, and contrary to what other people say, look, I'm gonna say this because if it ever happens and she do it, then y'all can quote me on my live and say, okay, she said this. Contrary to what a lot of people think about her channel is dead and is gone, really she can do the same thing Dante London did and revive her channel if she truly wanted to be honest. The problem why she can't do it is because she done fell in love with the scams and the quick money, and she don't want to go through the grind. My cousin is a big time content creator here in India and does great off of brand deals. Correct. You can make look here any way possible, far as putting making money on the platform the legit way. Let me put it out there, the legit way, and not scamming people. It's better to add to your income. It's better to add to your sources. It's better to try to develop stuff in your sources to create more income than taking away. So where I fought DoorDash again, telling people to quit their jobs and get on YouTube. Idiot, you don't do that. You hold on to your job. You learn about YouTube. You try to make money from YouTube, and it becomes an additional source. You don't tell people to Gabby Baby TV. I will. I definitely will look up because I have some subscribers that are from India. I met like I said to my daughter and my son. I met someone from India who is a big gamer over there. They're a well-known YouTuber and gamer over in India. So I will definitely be looking at that. I'm all about promoting and helping other people. You said Indiana. Okay, I read that wrong. I thought you said India. Indiana. Okay, okay. But still, don't matter. I can go check it out and offer my support. It doesn't matter. I just read it too fast. Indiana. I've been to Gary, Indiana once when my car broke down. Oh Lord, that's a story all in itself, y'all. I was going to Chicago and my car had broke down. It was like 20 something years ago. My car had broke down in Gary, Indiana. Coincidentally, where Michael Jackson family is from. And people was telling me how bad the area was back then in Gary. I don't know how it is now, but that's my story of Indiana. I got stuck in Gary one time. My baby mama's from Gary. Yeah. So yeah, but like I said, back in the day, I think I got a tough hysteria now. I really had a tough one then. But my car had broke down in Gary, Indiana, and my husband at the time, but he's my ex-husband now. His family had to come from Chicago to come and pick up my kids up while we was broke down. Matter of fact, I had to leave my car in Gary almost 6 months while they was doing my transmission. 'Cause man, I tore that car up driving on all them those hills and through the mountains and stuff like that. I'm a Florida girl, and that car just it couldn't handle it. But yeah, y'all, like people are giving out so much misinformation, and a lot of this misinformation that they're giving out, a lot of it, I don't think it's intentionally. I think a lot of it is they're just set in the old way and they're not willing to convert and adapt to the new way, and so therefore it's wrong. And then there's people who just intentionally, like DoorDash, giving y'all some bad behind information because I personally just think the girl got a shopping addiction, and she has this smaller frame now. She's still a big girl stuck in a big. She's a big girl stuck in a little girl body because she was trying to please people versus just loving on herself. And she shows it in her videos. She shows it by the way she acts. She feels like if she didn't lost that weight, nobody would listen to her. Girl, please. I got friends that were heavy set at one point, had the highest confidence, and people loved them to death. They knew a lot of people, and baby, they was darn near almost 400 pounds, right? So it's not about how you look on the outside. It's what you are in the inside, and people would have attached themselves to her if she would have shown that side of her regardless if she was big or small. But in her head, she's thinking the only reason people are listening to me now is because I'm smaller and my channel, that could be true on that part because the channel blew up at one point, right? But if she would have took advice from people that really was trying to look out for her, I think DoorDash could have been in a better position than she is right now. She heard her own channel, but like I was getting ready to say before, contrary to what a lot of people think, I honestly think she could turn it around if she put in the effort. But it's gonna have to be where you come clean with everybody. Like you are gonna have to apologize. You're gonna have to apologize for what you did. You're gonna have to admit you did, so that way you can forward. Because you can't move forward if you ain't even willing to accept accountability for what you did, right? And then take the necessary steps to try to make her rights wrong. Does that mean just because she made $30,000, she's supposed to take the whole 30,000 and give it back to people? No, it doesn't, because she still got her bills she has to pay today. She still has to worry about how she's going to make it to the next month. But what I would say is she needs to create some kind of plan in order to figure out how she's going to pay these people back. That's just showing that, hey, I was bad then. I'm not that same person I was then, and this is who I am now. But the fact that she just continuing on this crazy behind scam direction that she's on is, you know, she just keep putting herself in a hole. And the more you try to talk with people don't agree with you or whatever, they're gonna try to discredit you. I mean, I'm at this point, I think I should be used to the discredit now, but that part I'm still working on, y'all. Oh, Gabby Baby TV was one of the first channels I was subscribed to. I fell off a couple of channels was I was subscribed to back in the day. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go check her out. Sure is. And Terry, your cousin done got a co-signer up in this live, so I am definitely gonna go check her out to see what the channel's about. So hey, she just subscribed what you just said. She was one of the first channels she had subscribed to. So yeah, y'all. I don't know. When I go to talking, especially on my videos, if it's something I'm passionate about, like I really like yeah, as y'all can see, even with me right here, I can kind of go deep into stuff. Hey, yeah, how you doing, Star? How you doing? Good to see you. If you're inside the chat, go ahead and hit that like button for me. And I don't know why y'all don't speak. I don't know if it's because y'all just scrolling past or whatever. But look here, we are here to have fun. We don't all have to agree. We can agree to disagree, but on this live, we come here to have fun and talk, to get to know everybody. And if you haven't learned that about me right as of now, like I like to know who I'm talking to. I like to know who looking at me, because I mean, how would y'all feel if I was just sitting there like this looking at y'all? And I ain't saying nothing. Y'all think I was rude, man, right? So go ahead and speak. Don't be shy. I can't do nothing to nobody on this side of the camera. My mouth can be a bit much, but hey, it's just me talking at this point, right? I can't do nothing to y'all when y'all in, so you might as well say hey. and don't forget to hit that like button. Y'all, I'm sitting here running. I ain't even. I had started on this darn anklet that I was making, but I ended up getting some cards so I could do like who ain't here play solitary. I was trying to figure out, well, how can I play cards with people online? I got some dice, so just in case if I want to one day play some type of game with my people on my live. I know we did. Hey Terry, I don't know if you see that. Look who's on my TV right now, y'all. You see, you see how I be supporting everybody. Um, but over here, I like to have a good time. I sure do. Um, don't be scared, because y'all know if I was in y'all live, I wouldn't be. I'd be sitting there talking and everything, giving my opinion. Yeah, I'm trying to look for different things to do because I really only started doing lives like I think I started in January. January is when I did my first live. I think is when I first started. Either the somewhere in January or December because I was trying to get over that little hump where I ran into an issue where like I wasn't getting a lot of subscribers. So and I was trying to get monetized and I noticed that when I went live, people would like subscribe to the channel. So this is really a good way of getting subscribers, getting to know people. So if you're still in the live and you have not subscribed to my channel, right? And you like vibing with me, I ain't say you got to agree with me, right? Just you just like vibing with me. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So we can stay connected with each other. Right, Terry. Terry just told me on my TV, just have fun with it because this is your channel. Do your thing on your channel. Right, Terry. All right. I agree with you. How about yourself? I'm doing good, Star. Oh gosh. Phone call with sister on another state. I am back. I almost forgot. You're still on. Hey, at my age, we forget things now and then. Right, right. Well, I'm 50 myself, so you know. I take some hectified notes, right? And that's why I kind of be making bullet points when I be doing my videos. Make sure because I get to talking, man. Especially if I'm caught up in the conversation. I've been on went off somewhere else. I'm be like, hold up, what was I saying? What was I saying again? um, what did you just say, Terry? If you like what you're doing, the right people are gonna find you. So stop trying to worry about what they tell you to do. Um, as your granddaughter has your granddaughter seen the new release with Jack Black? Not sure what it's really about, but I remember a few weeks ago she was talking about the game. My granddaughter? Are you talking to me or are you talking to somebody else? My granddaughter are kids. They little. Like you mean my daughter? 54 girls love my age, sexier, um, sexier and confident. All right. Hey, all right. If they don't know, they gonna know, right? If they don't know, they gonna know. And that's what I love about me some lipstick. Man, lipstick, she's in her 60s, but she has so much confidence. She really do. I love watching her videos. Um, and a lot of people can't a lot of people can't handle that. You wish you was a grandmother? Oh, I love being a grandmother. I think my grandkids think I'm a cool grandma though. Oh, because I'm a grandmama, but I'm with my grandson. Well, I don't like that. My grandson, my son, my kids' friends. Like I be still playing with them. Like I wrestle with them. I do whatever. I have fun with my grandkids and other children. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't even know what I. Which I'm like, what is it about? I don't know. Well, hey, honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the best policy. Y'all, I did my first I gotta work on that though. I did my first um purse. Uh it was just like a tote bag, big tote bag that I had made. I made my first one the other day, but I was doing it as like a just a sample of one, and I didn't have the right material with it, but it kind of worked out because now look, a two-tone purse. It's really cute. But that thing kind of took a minute to make that. All them freaking pockets and stuff that thing had in it. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna put that one for sale. Uh, but yeah, y'all better anybody that say they want to sell something on this platform and they're a content creator, go rethink your thoughts. Seriously, that's all I'm gonna say to you. Go rethink your thoughts. Um, because why are you really here as a content creator? Why really? I remember a few weeks ago you asked someone if they were subscribed to my alternate account, and she said play Minecraft and stuff like that. I did tell my son be sure he has his fun in life before having kids. Right now, girl, that is the best advice you can give a young person. You hear me? Like live life. Like I had kids at an early age, but really my kids really helped me grow and mature into the woman that I am. Even though I didn't have them early, yeah, I love that they helped me grow, matured me. But when it comes to the younger generation, I would tell them live your life because once you have kids, it's no longer about you. It's about them babies and making sure that they are right, and they will always be your babies. I don't care if you 85 and they 55. I don't care. Those gonna always be your babies. Right. They do teach us a lot. They definitely do. So, like my sister, who I call my sister, but really is my girl's aunt because they're dad's sister, but we're just that close that everybody swear we sisters. She had her first child when she was almost 30, and we all had kids before her, and she used to say, "Man, I want to have a child." I was like, "Girl, are you crazy? I wish I would have done what you did. I mean, I wish I would have waited. I wish I would have got established. I wish I would have. You did it the right way, and God blessed her with two children who have blessed her with two grandbabies. And so she still got to experience it. But like I keep telling her, girl, you did it right. I love my kids, but I did it the wrong way. You did it the right way. But we all have our paths. Everything happens for a reason. It's to help, make us into better people. I had my son at 29, right? And the way I was, y'all, I just be real with you. Like when I was younger, I grew up a military family. So like we always been military in my family. We were really sheltered with a lot of stuff. And then when I finally got out on my own, because of how sheltered I really was with my family and stuff like that, man, I hung out with the wrong type. Like I think about some of the stuff that I put myself in or who I hung out with or whatever when I was a certain age, and a lot of things could have really took a turn for the worse. But God, because I was fascinated with street life, but street life wasn't what I grew up around because my parents were strict as crap. Even though my brother did venture off into that life as well, but thank God he got it at one point. But I attached myself to people like guys that I had an attraction to. I liked them because they lived that life. It was living a life I didn't, and I was always the fighting type. So I attach myself to that. But it's just so much stuff that could have went wrong. It is so much stuff that I love law that could have literally cost me everything to where I wouldn't have been able to do some of the things that I've done. So I have to look at that too. Like God knew what he was doing. He blessed me with a child early because he knew he knew where my priorities would be. He knew that I would pump my brakes on certain things that would take on another direction if it wasn't for my children. So hey, man, I don't regret uh having kids. And I wasn't like I was 15, 16 years old. Like I said, I was young, but I was also sheltered and my parents didn't play that mess. I was 19 when I had my first daughter. I quickly turned 20 after I had her. And someone will say, well, you weren't that young. Yeah, I was too. I wasn't as wise as I am now back then. And I was a bit of a hothead to be honest with you. And sometimes that part of me will creep up every now and then, because I got a bit of a temper I got to work on. I know who I am, so I know when to back up off. That's why I do a lot of reflection with myself as well. Uh, that all comes from learning, experience. That comes from life and allowing yourself to be able to heal from some things, being able to place yourself in people's shoes that other people typically wouldn't. And I've even had, like, my dad used to tell me when I was younger, he was like, you need to stop doing that. You need to stop doing, you need to stop putting yourself in other people's shoes and allowing it to affect you because it's not you. And I was like, and I told him too, I would be like, but that's how I see things. That's how I can relate to people by putting myself, in their shoes. Um that's how I could try to rationalize what people are thinking by doing that. And doing that really helped me. Really, to be honest with y'all, like being able to do that really helped me to learn how to forgive people because I had a hard time forgiving people. Man, you crossed me, and that was it. Like that was it. You didn't have to worry about me ever again. People knew me as they talking about something. Tamara didn't know when to cut nobody. Oh, she will cut you off left and right. I ain't got no problem. Bye. I don't care who you is. But it was because I had got to a point where I did that and I put myself in other people's shoes. It allowed me to, hey, not to be so quick to cut people off, not be so quick not to listen. I'm very opinionated, even to this day. I'm gonna state my opinion on what I feel is right. Okay. But I'm also going to look at it from other people's perspective too, and either we agree or we'll agree not to agree, or you'll tell me something, and then I'll realize what you're saying by what you're sharing with me. Um, the rest of the year is good. Uh, hey, I'm halfway through this year of paramedic training, 3 or 4 years finished. All right, the rest of this year, nobody's perfect. We have right. We all got our moments. So, like, I'm not trying to make nobody think Tamara is perfect. Oh, absolutely not. But I know some things that I'm just not gonna do because morally it just goes against who I am. You know. Yeah, but and I think, and I don't know if people on this platform are so used to people not being who they really is that when they finally run into somebody who they are showing you who they are, it comes off not being real, or it comes off as oh, this person is this way. Well, I thought this person was this way, but really it was that way. No, you're getting who I am. There ain't no pretend. Like literally, somebody can walk in here right now, and I'm still gonna be doing the same thing because this is literally me. Okay, I'm not putting on no show for nobody. I'm not doing none of that crap. Like this is literally me. And I said at the beginning of my YouTube journey, most people either like me or they don't like me. It ain't too many people that's straddling the fence with me because I don't I know a lot of stuff I say or whatever, it might rub people the wrong way. That's why even when I'm having a conversation with people, I always say, well, do you want me to sugarcoat it? You want me the truth? Or you just want me to agree with you? Because I can do both. I can do it either way and still tell the truth, without. But I prefer people to allow me to just tell the truth because then I'm gonna just tell it how it is, okay? And then I hope you don't, I put a disclaimer on there. I hope I don't offend you one way or the other. Well, you can't make everybody happy, right? I prefer you to just say, go ahead and tell the truth. To be honest, just tell me how you feel, and that lets me know that you're real too. But some people will say that, and they only want you to say what you're gonna say, and then they're gonna try to use it against you when you say it. I peep that too. I peep it too. So um, but funds that are real, and they really want to know your true feelings on it because they're trying to get an understanding of what you're saying. Then they're gonna listen, even if they ain't gonna agree with it. They're gonna listen to it, right? I take in a lot, and matter of fact, me and my daughter was having a conversation the other day, and she was like, "Well, mom," because I was telling her how I kind of position my channel. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm censoring anybody or not allowing people to speak, and I want to hear all sides. And she said to me, she said, "Well, Mama, you got to realize sometimes that you can't be that way with everybody. Sometimes you got to shut people down. I know you're not trying to do that, but sometimes for your own sanity, you gotta just shut it down. You can't take position all the time." And this is my 30-year-old daughter that's telling me this, y'all, right? But hey, we all gotta learn. We can learn from anybody. So and what she said was absolutely correct. I have to look at it and say, okay, even though you want to take the position of hearing everybody out, sometimes she's right. Sometimes you can't because you're never gonna get through to certain people. Like some people don't want to take accountability. Some people only want you to see it one way. They don't want you to see it from all points of views, and that is what it is. Um, yeah, this platform is something else. It really is. You can't make. I thought I had missed something. Like I said, I like to read back just to make sure I didn't miss somebody's statement. I'm gonna. I don't think I missed anybody's statement. Hey Terry, what's going on? What you got this thing on? You got it on. Once I'm in one of your videos, it's just gonna keep playing all your videos. I'm literally looking like I'm watching a movie of Terry, like from one video to the next. You got it on that playlist. Like once you're in, you're in. Once I'm locked in, I'm locked in. Yeah. He got me, boy. Preciously right, girl. It's that some people can't handle the truth. Right, they can't. Some people can't handle the truth, and it is what it is. Oh, what am I thinking? Yeah. Mm. But my stance is, if I don't tell you the truth, then how am I any than anybody else? Like if I'm if I'm doing the exposure videos and I'm trying to bring the truth about somebody else, if I can't be truthful about what I see or what I know, and I'm staying quiet because I'm not trying to offend somebody, then am I being real? So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is on that note. Yeah, yeah. So hold on. Hold on. I don't know if this phone about to. I don't know if this thing about to be out as far as my ear. Hey Mar, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a minute. Uh, All right, you gotta hang in there. You gotta hang when it comes down to this platform, y'all. Where all the information is out there, whether misleading, truthful information, not so true information, stuck in the old information, into the new information. He right. Like you literally got to be true to who you are, and that's what separates you from everybody else. Like if all I'm gonna do is be a carbon copy of everybody else, then what makes people want to sit there and listen to what I gotta say, right? The only thing that makes me who I am is me being myself, and that's what y'all gonna get. Why are you hiding from me? I'm not hiding from you. I am right here. Shoot, I guess I'm hiding from everybody because I wasn't on no live. I hadn't did a live in a minute. But yeah, y'all, I enjoy talking on these lives, man. I remember when I first got on the lives, I didn't know what I was doing, y'all. I was lost. Man, I would be on the live on my phone and typing what I want to say on my computer. I'm like, how are people doing this? Like, and then somebody, I think it was Auntie Nikki who had told me, she was like, you're not supposed to be typing while you're talking to people. I was like, no, how am I supposed to do this? She was just talk to camera. Yeah, we all live and we learn. Oh God. But like, yeah, a lot of stuff I'm talking about it because I experienced it, I studied it, and I'm not giving you no old crap. I'm giving you what just like really happened. Right. But yeah, I got my own little hang ups, y'all. I do. And that's part of the platform that I'm gonna have to get I'm gonna have to accept because I don't see because so many people do it and they think it's right. Um I'm gonna just have to get like T. Washington told me on the video. You have to be slicker than butter. I'm gonna use that. You gotta be slicker than butter. So when you see people doing, then you know it ain't right. They're trying to capitalize off of something up other somebody's head. I gotta present it in a way to where, you know, I bring it out there. I'll show it. Um, but if you ask me and you want to know if it's the person I'm talking about, hey, is that me? You better be ready to get the answer. You hear me? If you don't want to know, then don't ask me. That's all I'm gonna say on that note. Um, but if it's just in general, sometimes the stuff just be general or something that I'm talking about what I done did. Like, yee. You love my green. I think sometimes the YouTube trips up. Oh, y'all, anybody in here watch Handmaid's Tale? I had started watching that mess. I couldn't finish watching that. I was like, these people on some twisted crap right here, boy. A commercial just came across the TV about the Handmaid's Tale, and I remember a few years back I had started watching it, and it just got off on a deep end, like it was kind of on a weird end. So I was like, oh, I can't get into this. I'm gonna have to start watching this mess. Is Terry still out here? I wanted to ask him, was he a truck driver? Was he his own truck driver? He worked for a company. Um, do you ask on green? What? Do you what? I don't know what you're meaning, Omar. But I'm about to end this live. What is your zodiac sign? Not a believer in daily horoscope. Just curious. Well, I know what. I don't follow the whole horoscope thing like religiously everybody else do, but I'm a Libra. I'm the scales. For those that want to know. Oh yeah, but yeah. What show did you say? The Handmaid. Yeah, the Handmaid. Capricorn. The Handmaid's Tale. It's about these women that almost seem like they get kidnapped into this lifestyle, but they be bearing children and taking care of people, and it just got this weird twist to it. It's kind of weird. You didn't remember you eat your earrings are. Yeah, I know my earrings are green. I'm trying to see what you're saying though. But I mean, I got the part where you said about you like my green earrings. I said thank you. It was the second comment I didn't quite understand. I'm like, what in the world is he talking about? He said he gotta hype himself back up. Go ahead, Terry. Well, y'all, I'm getting ready to end this live. I gotta get in my planner. I got this new planner today. I ordered it from Amazon. Um, for my budgeting that I do. I don't know if y'all could see this. But I got this new planner, and it's a budgeting planner, but it's also like a calendar planner, and I love writing everything down. The woman dressed in red, I don't like it. I saw the movie; it's weird to me as well. Right. Well, I don't know if it was a movie one. It could have been a movie. I thought it was a series when I saw it, but either way, that mess was crazy. I'm like, who watched this mess? Like, what's wrong with people? Who even thought of this? Like, I don't know. Like, ugh. Like something I just can't watch. Okay. Even down to like I can't watch. I don't know how many people in here or what their nationality is. I can't see y'all, but I can't really watch like slavery movies and stuff like that. I can't, man, because them movies be pissing me off. I can't watch them. Like how people just can sit there and watch stuff like that that we know we went through. Mm-mm. I don't want my mind to get tainted. But I'm also no fool to what may happen either. So I just can't sit there and watch it. Cause when I seen green, you were looking on yourself. Cause when I said green, you were looking on yourself. I can see myself. I know you. I got earrings on, but I couldn't understand what that second part of the message said. And they said there is a judge on the Supreme Court who acts like that in real life. I don't believe in that type of lifestyle. Right. Ooh, that's crazy. All right, y'all. Well, I don't say it's like what 3, 4 times now. I'm gonna actually do it this time, but I'm gonna go ahead and close out this live, y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all supporting me, talking with me. Cause I know y'all know I get to talking and I just go, especially when it's something I'm passionate about. Um, right. But I will see y'all in the comments. I will see y'all on the videos. I will see y'all on y'all videos so we can have that communication, dialogue open up on the videos as well. But as always, be your brothers and your sisters keeper. Keep God first. Hey, Listing, how you doing, girl? All right, y'all. Toodles.